Could you explain a little bit more about what an operations and maintenance agreement is for folks?
Sure. An operations and maintenance agreement or O&M agreement, quite simply, is the relationship that a third party is going to have with the investor to basically maintain that asset. And we go over that in the financial modeling and we talk about expenses, right? One of them is O&M. Now, just to rewind a little bit, an EPC could also own an asset. An EPC could also do the O&M. A developer could also own the asset. A developer could also do the O&M based upon the kind of company they are. But an investor is generally going to outsource O&M work to a third party. And in the course, we talked about what the O&M agreement is that specifically relates to having a third party. And some of the elements of O&M, as we know, are the things you're going to do every year, like go out to the site and clean panels and do testing. You might do some infrared testing. And then towards the end of the agreement, there's 3 exhibits there where we talk about there's obviously the preventative maintenance stuff that's going to happen every year, right? We're going to prevent things from happening. So when you go out, you're going to be doing visual inspections and checking things and making sure everything's tight and look at things and taking photos. And then there's the unforeseen things like the reactive maintenance, where all of a sudden a product fails, like an inverter goes down. So in this example, in the 1 megawatt project in the financial model that you go through, you're going to have to make a decision if you're going to buy one large inverter, 4 smaller inverters, or 10 smaller inverters, right? And then you're going to say to yourself, okay, well, if one inverter goes down and it's only 10% of the system on a 1 megawatt project, and I'm using this illustratively, that it's okay maybe not to do a truck roll like within 48 hours, right? Or 4 days or whatever the agreement that you set with the investor or the EPC or the developer. But basically it sets the rules of the road on how the relationship's going to work over time. And there are many companies out there in the marketplace today that actually have dedicated O&M businesses, and they have a suite of services. And it might just be for residential, it could be for commercial, could be for the C&I space, could be for utility scale. And all those O&M agreements are very different. Again, reaction time, percentage of the system being down. And we kind of go over that in the actual document. And I talk about some ideas about costs and some benchmarks, and to look through as an EPC or a developer or as an investor, looking through 3 different lenses. Like, what does that mean to you? And who are you trying to find in the marketplace? Like, are they NABCEP certified? Are they taking courses on HeatSpring to become NABCEP certified? Do they have the credentials? How long have they been in business, right? Do they have assets under management? Because again, the O&M agreement, again, ties to the asset management, right? We want to make sure, and again, that's also in the financial model, that we have a product, meaning a solar farm or a solar rooftop project that has a long service life. And there is an asset management component to that. And you will also see that in the financial modeling, so that you can actually model out, when I say model, like economically look at what are those 3 or 4 or 5 or 10 line items that need to go in the OpEx, the operational expenses in the financial model, so that you're having all these costs covered and anticipated, including things like a debt service reserve account or like an inverter account. So you know the inverters are going to fail between year 10 and 15. Are you putting money away every year? And I talk about that in the O&M agreement. We also talk about that in the financial modeling aspect of the course. And I think when you start thinking about it, it'll give you some ideas to figure out a way that, do we want to wait till you're 15 when something fails? Or do we just want to put money in escrow and kind of squirrel money away over time? So the financial model and the O&M agreement are kind of tied together to give insights for investors, for EPCs, and for developers to decide how they're going to manage their fleet and what happens when something goes wrong.